nice. You're playing well. You're in the top half. You're 3 points off the playoffs. It's all going pretty well for you at the moment.
Yeah, it's been a good run. Good run of games, good performances, good results. Yeah, really pleased with where the guys are at, where the players are at the moment, physically, mentally. Yeah, I feel like they're in a really good place. I think we're in a good place as a group, and we have a little bit of momentum now. We've just got to keep driving it forward and keep making sure we keep trying to improve, I guess. So yeah, I don't think we've had to work extremely hard to put ourselves back in this position of 4 wins in a row, and obviously trying to force out the league is difficult because there's so many people around us, and they keep winning. So yeah, I think we're enjoying it. We're enjoying ourselves at the moment. We're playing well, and the guys are working really hard, and we just got to continue along that road.
We make a lot of it, but psychologically, does it mean a lot to be in the top half of the table?
I think it's nice for the players, really, for them to be rewarded for their hard work and over such a long period of time. And as I said, we've sort of playing catch up from the slow start to the season. Feels like that's the case. The other frustrating bit was the run we went on, especially before this last 4 or 5 games, which was obviously disappointing and set us back a little bit. I said that at the time we were facing new problems. Teams were setting up in different ways, so the guys have adapted brilliantly. But yeah, of course we were. For the players, I mean, I've said to you all the way along, I don't particularly look at the league table too much, but for the players, I think it is nice. It's a nice feeling for them to finally get rewarded for what they're doing, and we want to finish as high up as possible. We said that all the way along. It was about improving on last season, and we're certainly on the way to doing that. And hopefully in 5 weeks' time, we'll be sitting here fairly satisfied with where we are in the league, but also probably a bit of frustration as well, because we know there's been a lot of lost points there that we could have had or should have had. So yeah, of course it'll be tinged with that, but I think overall I think we're fairly satisfied at the minute what we're doing, where we're at, and now it's up to us to try and finish as strong as possible.
The dressing room must be buoyant at the moment.
Yes, I mean they're still not allowed in the dressing room together, but yeah, the group are in really good spirits. Brilliant group to work with. I say that all the time, but they're a fantastic group to work with. We love working with them every day, and we don't take for granted what they're putting out on the pitch as well. It's really not easy. So yeah, I think they're feeling really good about themselves. I think they know there's still a lot of work to do as well. I don't think we've got a group that will get comfortable or complacent, and I think they're really enjoying driving each other on. I think they want to see how far they can push themselves this season as well, and there'll be guys in here who are desperate to do well, who won't, potentially might not be here next year for one reason or the other, and you've got older guys who want to finish as strongly as possible, towards the end of their career. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see where it takes us these next 5 weeks. We have a really tough run of games now, but one we can now try and enjoy and really look forward to after the last 4 results. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to what's ahead.
I know you say you're taking a game at a time and you don't like us using the P word, but at what stage do you start to realistically look at that? You know, if you win the next 2, you could be even closer to those top 6 positions. Do you? I mean, you're wiping your face there. Is it frustrated with me asking?
No, not frustrated. Sorry, not frustrated at all.
Did you start looking at it?
I just didn't sleep very well, but no. If we're in there at the end of the season, then I'll look at it, but that'll be it. But I think it's a really big ask. I think we'd have to win probably 7 of our 8 games. The players are capable of that for sure, but I think we're just so reliant on other people, and that's the frustration. I think that's probably why we haven't spoke about it. It's not why we're adding pressure to the group. I think we have so many teams with games in hand, and there's so much to change between now and then that we will, and I keep saying it, but we will just focus on the next one. We'll prepare for Lincoln. It's going to be a really tough game. What I would say, if we get through these next 2 or 3 with, if we win the next 2 or 3, then of course, with a few games left, the conversation maybe changes a little bit. But for now, no, we're not. I've said it all the way along, I won't get carried away by it. The last time everyone spoke about maybe getting in the playoffs and stuff, we went and lost 4 in a row, whatever it was. We drew 1 and lost 4. So yeah, I'm reluctant to try and let anyone engage in that conversation again, and we'll just try and focus on us, the process, and improving what we're doing. And recently, it's been good enough for us to win games and win games well, and win some really tough games, and hopefully that'll be the case moving forward.
You mentioned briefly in your previous answer that you'll probably be losing a few players in the summer, or that they're at least their contracts are up anyway. The striking lineup is going to look vastly different, isn't it? Come next season.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, just the nature of it. Obviously, Griggy's on loan. Cammy contract will be up, and he wants to assess his options, which I completely understand. Obviously, Joe Mason's contract is up as well, so we have to have a discussion with Joe at some point about what's going to happen. So yeah, the only one at the moment that is contracted for next year is Charlie Brown. So it's an area we are looking at every day, the options available, the players available, and also trying to keep the ones we've got. So Cammy and Griggy, and obviously Mace hasn't played as much football as he would have wanted to, so it would be a conversation I have to have with Joe at some point. But he knows how highly we rate him, but I'm sure he'll be frustrated at the lack of game time. But yeah, it's going to it's obviously a big area for us. Is that top end of the pitch will be so important, and there'll be lots changed between now and when we come back from pre-season. But we're putting all the work in now to hopefully make sure that when we do come back, we have the ones in place that we want, and we'll do everything we can to keep the guys that we really want as well. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that, because as I said, there's lots of different things to consider, and also ideally we get the season finished first. I think those guys know how we feel about them. We've had honest chats with all of those, so they're quite comfortable with the situation and where it's at. So their full focus now is on helping us as much as possible between now and the end of the season, for their sakes and for us. So we're all in a better place and in a stronger position if we finish the season really strongly.
I mean, I know I've asked this one before to you, but you mentioned on Saturday you'd love to keep Will Grigg. Is there, a better chance now given his performances here?
Well, yeah, I think it's a situation that there's so much that could change and change Griggy's situation. Obviously, Sunderland could get promoted. I don't know how that changes his contract situation. I don't know how that changes Sunderland's feelings about things. So yeah, we will obviously have a chat with Sunderland come the end of the season once we know our situation, once we know theirs, and also with Griggy as well. So yeah, there's lots to happen, and lots of things need to fall into place. But yeah, I'm happy to say publicly that we would like to keep Griggy. He's done great since he's been here, and he's been probably a bit frustrated his lack of game time recently, but I think he understands it because how well Cammy's played. But I thought he'd done great on Saturday when he come back in. So yeah, there's a role for him here for sure, and just the way he's fitted in culturally and off the pitch as well, he's been great. So yeah, but as always, I can't give any definitive answers because I just don't know what the situation is going to be in 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks time, and how his parent club are going to feel about things.
A little bit more fallout from Saturday. How's everything with Scott Fraser? Is it now just water under the bridge?
Yeah, all good. Yeah. I spoke to Scotty on Saturday night, and then we had a good chat again yesterday. And yeah, it's all good. He trained brilliantly yesterday, so really, really well. And yeah, as I said on Saturday, it's something that happened. He's apologised. He regrets it did happen, as do I, because it's not ideal. But at the same time, I love Scotty to death. He's a great guy, a fantastic player, and he's a really important part of what we're doing here. So yeah, I've got no issues with Scotty moving forward at all, and the way he's responded has been brilliant.
Lincoln then, a team that's in a bit of a patchy run considering how well they've been doing this season.
Yeah, I think it's the nature of the league. I think it's the nature of the hectic schedule. They've had injuries. They've had obviously COVID issues as well. It's been so physically and mentally demanding that teams have. I think there's not really one team that's really sustained. That even you look at the teams at the top of the league, they've both had real dips as well, and it happens throughout the season. It's football, but I think they've had a brilliant season. They've got a really good manager in Michael Appleton, and a group of players that work extremely hard for him. It's a real good mixture of experience and some real promising young guys that they've recruited from higher levels that have done brilliant for them. So it'll be a tough game. It was a tough game here. It was a game we performed really well in, and obviously a penalty that was apologised for after by the officials. We got an apology for that wasn't a penalty, and then they scored in the counter attack. So it was a tough game. It will be a tough game. There's no doubt about it. But I think with the form that we're in, we go there really confident that we can put in a performance. I think we've come a long way since we played them. So I think we can put in a performance that we can go there and be happy with and be proud of, and hopefully that'll be enough to win the game, because we have got a bit of momentum now, which is nice, and it's a good feeling, and we go there full of confidence and enthusiasm. So yeah, they are a good team though. There's no doubt about it. They've been so impressive the way they've gone about their work this year. And I'm pretty sure, you know, he had a bit of time last year where they finished around mid-table. Obviously the season was curtailed early, and he's used that time. He was using that time to implement something, and this year he's really carried it out and been really strong with it. And yeah, so you know, I've got a lot of admiration for what they've done there, and it'll be a tough game, but I'm looking forward to it.
We talk a lot about empty stadiums and how much it hurts the game, but I think going to places like Lincoln and not having any supporters there may play into your side's hands.
Yeah, I think, well, obviously we had supporters when we went there last year. It was a really good game. It was a game I was frustrated not to win at the time. I think Limbrick Cup scored a great goal for them, but we had quite a few chances. Reece obviously put a great free kick in. But it was a really good atmosphere, And I think our group now I think they'd be ready for that. I think they'd be ready to play in front of it, however many people that were there. I think they'd thrive off it, they'd enjoy it. So yeah, I see it as it could be. I guess people could view it as a positive, because it is a tough place to go and play. But I genuinely feel that this group now are ready for anything like that, and they would probably really enjoy it, because there are still guys in our team who have never played in front of a proper crowd. You know, we had a couple of games this year where we had 2,000 at Charlton and the Peterborough one here, Burton. But it's been frustrating, and I'm disappointed for them. So I think when that does happen, I don't see them getting fazed by that at all. I don't see it being a problem for us. So I'd rather there was a crowd there tomorrow for sure. I think the players would as well.